When I was a kid, I had two friends from the street, Daniel and Philip. We regularly used to play outside, small football, and all the little children stuff. There was an old dude who always brought us candies, and we loved and respected him. His name was Craig. There was a house on the street that wasn't in the same place as all the other buildings. It was kind of odd, standing at a distance, unlike the other houses which were close together. Its windows were broken, and at night there were strange sounds coming from it. We were always curious, but our conscience didn't allow us to go near. One day, while we were outside playing, we asked Craig about that house. His eyes widened, and he hesitated to tell us. We were persistent, but he only said, "When you grow up, you will understand." We agreed, but some urge inside us wasn't satisfied with that answer. One day, we decided to investigate. My friend Daniel said, "We shouldn't go. We shouldn't enter someone's house." But Philip replied, "Dude, don't be scared. It's just a house. Don't be a little girl." Still, we had to make a plan because our parents wouldn't let us go past 8 p.m. So, we decided to tell them we were having a sleepover at Daniel's house, which they approved, since we had many sleepovers in the past. The next day, we went for the sleepover at Daniel's place. We waited until past 12 a.m. to sneak out. First, we played games on his desktop, PlayStation, and some board games. Then, the hour came. We were ready, but we couldn't leave from the front door, so we had to sneak out of the window. Daniel tied bedroom sheets to make a slide, since his house was 2 stories and his room was on the 2nd floor. We slid down into the bushes, grabbed our bicycles, and went straight down the road. After about 15 minutes of riding, we approached the house. It was abandoned, like my father did to me. Anyway, it was in bad shape. The windows were broken, the wood was chipped, and half of the stairs were gone. I had a gut feeling that something was wrong, like a sense of dread. We looked at each other's faces, then went inside. There was a hall. I remember my body shaking. We were just 8 years old, small kids. As we explored the rooms, one of them had blood or maybe red paint splashed across the walls, not like someone wanted to write something, but just thrown there. In other rooms, there were syringes, tissues. It looked like someone had been living there. I turned to my friends and said, "Let's leave." But Philip wanted to explore upstairs. Daniel didn't want to go. He hesitated and said he would wait for us near the exit door. So, me and Philip went upstairs. The first room was all destroyed. As we walked down the hallway, we saw a slightly open door to the second room. There was no doorknob, but the door was cracked open. I tried to push it with my hands, but it wouldn't move. Then we heard it. A scream. A visceral scream from downstairs that shook our bones. Philip whispered, "Let's go out." I froze for 2 seconds, but curiosity got the better of me. I glimpsed through the crack in the door, and what I saw still haunts me to this day. A body was hanging from the ceiling with a rope. I panicked and shouted, "Leave." Philip turned his head around and asked, "Where is Daniel?" I said, "I don't know." We both screamed his name, "Daniel, Daniel," but no answer. Terrified, we ran outside. Our 3 bicycles were still there, so Daniel had to still be inside. But we were too scared to go back in. We jumped on our bikes and pedaled so fast we could barely breathe. When I finally got home, I went straight to bed, covered myself in blankets, and fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up to see my mom and police officers in my house. I was scared and confused. My mom asked, "Where were you yesterday?" I told her we had a sleepover at Daniel's house. Then she said words that sent chills down my spine. "Daniel is not home. His parents are crying. Did you guys do anything yesterday?" I took a deep breath and explained everything. She was worried and I got grounded. Later that day, I asked her, "Did Daniel return?" She said no. The whole neighborhood was full of police. The search lasted a whole week. I didn't go to school for a month, and I wasn't allowed to leave the house for 6 months. I called Philip. Back then we only had landline phones, so we couldn't talk much. He was just as scared and traumatized as me. Unfortunately, that day will be in our memories forever. Daniel was never found. Our decision back then seemed so innocent. But who could have thought it would end like this? 22 years have passed. We are now in our 30s. Philip moved to another state, got married, and has kids. Daniel, if you see this, please respond. Backstreet Boys.